the first step towards changing anything is actually first changing the information about that. Because the one thing that keeps people stuck in the same place for long is this thing of, someday some things are. No. It's not a matter of someday thing.
Yeah.
It's a matter of what are you going to put in now that's going to ensure that you change the next 10 years. The only difference between a person who grew in the past 10 years and the person who just accumulated years is information.
What habits would show that someone has drawn a line in the sand and they are on their way to end poverty?
Yeah, firstly, self-regulation. You can't want everything, every environment to be the same for you to be able to thrive. There's no amount of money we don't get used to. Anything that we are going to call an asset, we must first understand that
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. We are back with Mandilake, our guy, to talk about drawing a line in the sand when it comes to poverty. Many people drift into poverty without realizing. In fact, many families drift into poverty without realizing it. And I always reflect and look at myself and people around me to say, every rich person, every rich family at some point started with one person who decided to draw the line in the sand and say, this has to end here. That person could be you for your family, and our guy is here wearing his mesh.
yeah, recognize.
Recognize the financial literacy corner.
I'm telling you, that's us. We're right here.
And you were telling me about cash content.
Cash content. That's what. Yeah.
This is
Gonna
cash
be one,
content.
Yeah. It's gonna be one of the slogans. Cash content. Yeah, that's what it is.
Mandilake, man, how are you?
Hey, good coach, man. Thanks for the invite again. Yeah.
This is a big topic.
Yeah. It is
That's
definitely.
why it needs you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that.
What was going through your mind when I was saying the intro?
No, actually, I think you're touching on a very significant topic. It's mostly, it's for every generation. I think if we actually had to look at our lives in decades, firstly, you said I should put on my pastor hat. There's a psalm in the Bible that says, "Teach me to number my days." I think it was written by Moses, so that I may apply wisdom in a way. So I think if we understood how fleeting our life on earth is, we would actually be careful with how we use our time, Because when we talk about 10 years, it's always like, it's this long time.
Yeah.
But when we come to reality, when we look at our ages now, it's shocking how we quickly got here.
Yeah, because if you think 10 years ago, it's not so long ago. But when you're reflecting back, it seems it's not so long. But when you're thinking forward, for many people, it's like it's so far.
Correct.
10 years forward is far.
Correct.
10 years ago was just now.
Exactly. And one of the things that came to mind when you were saying this is the importance of information as the differentiator. Because of the only difference between a person who grew in the past 10 years and the person who just accumulated years is information. So other people just accumulated years. They were 30, now they're 40. Otherwise, they're still the same everything. And some other people in the last 10 years, they are unrecognizable from who they were when they were 30 to the person they are now that they are 40. And that's what normally separates people when they separate chaff from wheat.
All right. So
yeah.
if someone is going to draw that line in the sand and make a decision, you are framing it in 10 years.
Yeah.
So it means we can say, what would make your next 10 years look significantly different to where you are right now?
Yeah.
So if I frame it that way, what becomes number one for you?
Yeah, so for me, I think, firstly, it comes to information. I think that's the first thing I want to say to people. To change the next 10 years, you first have to change what you know from what you will know in 10 years' time. Because the first step towards changing anything is actually first changing the information about that. For example, if you want to change a season, it's imperative for you to know what is it that I did not have And that actually kept me stuck in a particular rut or in a
Yeah.
particular thing, right? And once you know, then you can change your action. Otherwise, you can keep being hopeful. Because the one thing that keeps people stuck in the same place for long is this thing of, someday some things are. No. It's not a matter of someday thing.
Yeah.
It's a matter of what are you going to put in now that's going to ensure that you change the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I'd say. People must start reading if you're not reading. And whatever worked in the past 10 years is not guaranteed to work in the next 10 years. So that's why you can't get to the point where you say,
I know enough.
I know enough. Because things are changing right now. Things are changing so drastically such that every day read something. So that you know that in the next 10 years, your location might not have changed. But what you know must have changed. And that is likely to make the next 10 years exciting for you.
That's even in the Bible, eh?
Yeah.
People perish for lack of knowledge.
There you go. Yeah. You're a better pastor than me.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
But the reality, I think, when you're saying that, the reality is there's someone who knows something you don't know.
Yeah.
And there's someone who knows how to do something you don't know how to do. And because of that, they earn 10 times, 100 times more than you doing what you do.
Sure.
Same job, same field, same career choice, but they leverage it to the point of earning 100 times more than you because they know how to do something you don't know how to do.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is what changes the next 10 years is closing that knowledge gap.
Correct.
Know that you're where you are because you don't know enough.
That's correct. And right there, you're actually putting it right well. And you find some people actually, they studied in the same place, same time, but then their level of success is not the same. They might be in the same organization as well. And it's not serious things that differentiates them. It's not a matter of, you got employed first. They might have been employed in the same organization, same time. But how they progress is different, exactly in what you're saying. Because over and above academics at times, it's other things. What other soft skills do you possess? Again, that's a knowledge base. It's a knowledge skill. It's a knowledge difference right there. Because of some people actually understand how their persona actually affects how they interact with people. Because over and above the fact that I can show you my academic record, I must know then how to navigate in corporate in order for me to get a certain level of recognition.
Okay. When you say it that way, in my mind, it's separating it to two. There's the knowledge, and then there's the application of the knowledge.
Correct.
And when you say skill, I'm tied more to the application side.
Yeah.
Because skill is coming through application and
Yeah.
repetition, and you're doing it over and over again. And it's a big deal because, again, the way you say it's soft skill. It means there's the technical skill and there's the soft skill.
Correct.
So the combination of these two,
Yeah.
which means over the next 10 years, your income, your life is significantly different if you upgrade your skills.
It's so imperative.
Both sides,
Both sides.
technical and soft. Explain the difference because you say it's soft.
Yeah. Correct. So we do know, as we're saying, that the technical aspect of it is because of you've actually acquired knowledge from an institution.
Yeah.
You've been trained on that. So it's the hard skills. It's the ones that actually earn you the job.
Yeah.
But then what keeps
plumber
you,
doing the
exactly
plumbing.
Yes, yeah. And you're making a great point here, which reminds me now. I was actually chatting to my wife. We have these guys that do stuff for us in our houses. They are the ones who are formal businesses. Those guys know how to quote you, how to invoice you, and what price to charge you, right?
Yeah.
And then they will tell you about warranties and guarantees in terms of the service that they're giving. Therefore, their prices actually take into account all of that. So when I pay them for having come to either paint my house, it's not just them when they say, we are done, that's it. It's that there is an after service that I'm paying for. Now, you get then Jabu on the street. Sorry to make Jabu the name.
They'll pay Jabu who say,
Exactly.
no.
Yeah, that could have been also Muzi or something, but yeah, he's got his stuff. Then you got Jabu on the street. Jabu is saying, I'm good at what I do. I just don't have all these elaborate
Certificates
yes,
and
yeah,
registrations.
stuff. But I'll do a great job for you. Similar to so and so.
And he can.
And he
most times.
can. Yes, he can. But the problem, Jabu wants to charge the same price as Muzi. But Jabu does not have the promises that after this, I'll be able to come back if ever anything doesn't go well. Now, that actually, for me, speaks to firstly understanding your craft and also understanding how to engage your customer. Because you can't want to charge me the same amount as someone who guarantees more because of they actually have to make some provision in their books because of that guy is official. He would definitely recognize that I have this period of time before I can recognize this money as mine fully. If ever nothing happens in the next 3 months after I've given this guy a paying job, then that means I can actually say there's nothing that I owe that person. But Jabu on the other side is never going to come back. But Jabu is saying, no, pay me the same amount. There's an aspect of someone who understands.
Just the technical, and then someone else who has business acumen.
That's correct. Same as in a corporate environment. In a corporate environment, yes, you are an accountant, you're qualified. Awesome. Everybody loves that. You can deliver. However, your people's skills contributes also in how you actually get to determine whether you stay long here or not. Because remember that you are not going in there to actually just do your job and you're out. That's why then people actually have to understand their environment. There are trainings that people are taken to now. Back in the day, being an accountant and sitting in your corner and doing spreadsheets was all you needed to do. But now we are in a different environment. For you to actually be seen to be a team player and all of you need to actually engage other people. You need to engage business so that business can understand how their decision-making process affects the reporting, the reporting process and the bottom line of the business. Then that means you can't just be an accountant that's detached from what the business is about. And business cannot just be business without these guys. So there has to be then those things where we are able, firstly, we must prepare presentations now. That means you must communicate. Now, your ability to communicate clearly is actually imperative. And it's not everybody's strength, but you develop that. Then that becomes the soft skill.
Yeah.
It's not part of what was on your CV, but then right now, for where you are operating, you actually need that. So that means you need now to get to the point where you understand what used to work is no longer working now or fully working. Then I need to add on.
I love it because technically is saying what will make it a huge difference for anyone between now and in the next 10 years, if you are to end this poverty thing, is beyond your technical skills, which you need to know that there are soft skills that will open the door to opportunities, soft skills that will help you win interviews, soft skills that will help you win pitches, soft skills that will help you get more clients and clients that are loyal because people do business with people they like and they enjoy talking to.
Yes.
And they talk to you and feel this was refreshing. It's always a pleasure to do business with you, right? It's soft skills that do that, not just the technical skills. And many people are frustrated because they know they are the best at what they do technically. And they just can't wrap their heads around why are doors not opening? Someone is sharp enough to know how to communicate their value to the right places. And when they land an interview, communicate in such a way that they get that job ahead of you.
Correct. And the adaptability aspect. Sorry, I should actually also put that in there. It's imperative for one to adapt. You can't want everything, every environment to be the same for you to be able to thrive. You get into an environment, you don't impose, you learn. Because that's very imperative. Now, that means you actually are opening up yourself, opening yourself up to change. Again, now, how quick we adapt because of, I'm not sure if it was here where I said, we're living in constant white waters. Now, what that means is we are living in days where change is inevitable. Everything is changing. It's just how frequent or how quick things are changing. Yeah. So that means we must always, there's a book, somehow I think I've said this before. There's a book called Who Moved My Cheese?
Okay. Well, I know the book, but I don't remember you talking about the
Okay,
book.
yeah. So then maybe
You talk a lot.
I did. Yeah, clearly, I do. Yeah, I love the book. It's a 2-hour book you can read, but it actually helps you understand how to deal with change. It actually makes this this analogy. It's using some cartoon-like characters to actually compare these mice to how human beings process information and change.
Yeah.
You know, the mouse they don't have time to process information and all of those things. There are stations which they find cheese, but when they find the cheese, the mouse are not eating the cheese with a sense of entitlement. That, oh, finally I made it. Then they put up their running shoes and they actually just enjoy and try to just make this thing last forever, because that's how we are as humans. Because when we hit a jackpot, we don't look for more opportunities. We've arrived.
Get complacent.
Yes, we become complacent. We grow a tummy, and that's it. And yet, what then that guy is actually showing us there as well is how the mice, which actually don't have emotions and feelings about it, when the cheese is taken away or it's rotting, then they actually go out searching for more without moaning and groaning and doing all of those things. It's actually just helping us understand how we're supposed to manage our emotions when situations change. So that's why adaptability is very critical. I mean, we're seeing in our time, our day and age, it's very imperative for us to understand how we should be quick to adapt to situations.
I like it. And when you're saying that, there's a statement that went through my mind that at some point someone was growing, but they hit a certain number in terms of income that created that complacency. So at some point you had vision, at some point you were excited, you were doing this thing, you were growing, the income was increasing. Then when you got that number, you got complacent. And you don't realize that that was your complacency number.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so right. And it actually speaks to how when you get these windfalls, the windfalls is also stuff that you might not have expected, that, it's like a breakthrough. And actually, this is what hits a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know how a lot of people, they did have all this, but all of a sudden they get hit by...
Millions land in your account.
And they're like, I will never be broke again. And then they appear on I blew it. And that's probably the complacency number. But also in corporate, you're right in what you're saying. Some people get promoted without them having ever thought they would get that kind of promotion. And when you get there, here's one thing for sure. There's no amount of money we don't get used to. Whether you've dreamt about it or you didn't.
Yeah.
The one thing that life kind of proves to us on a daily basis is that we have a tendency of consuming as much as we have potential to generate income. So that means if I can grow now R1 million more by tomorrow,
You get
trust
used
me,
to
I'm
it.
gonna adapt. I'm gonna get used to it, and my consumption levels are gonna somehow get to another million again.
It's Parkinson's law
Okay.
that nature abhors a vacuum. So whenever there's a vacuum, nature tries to fill it up. And when it comes to your finances, when you earn that number that you've never earned before,
Yeah.
you kind of have the edge for your life to catch up.
There we go. So I think then that's where the information aspect speaks to, because
Yeah.
of if we are informed before we get that increase, again, I think we will have to talk about the 2026 budget speech, because there are nice changes there as well.
Yeah.
So, but if you get the information before you get the increase, then you stand better chances of wisely using that expansion.
All right, so this was a big number 3, and I would recommend anyone who hasn't to buy that book, Who Moved My Cheese.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little book, but it's powerful. Power-packed with nuggets. I think you can get through it in 2 or 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
But it's funny, you'll laugh, but it's powerful. It's no surprise. I think by now it should have sold like 30 million copies or
It's a
something.
lot, yeah.
It is a big book.
Definitely.
Globally. And I think as number 3, you said adaptability, but it's to say if your life is going to change, if the next 10 years are going to change, it's going down to how you look at what's going on around you and you adapt. AI coming through,
Yeah,
you adapt, right? And there's threats of wars now.
Yeah.
If it ever lands, we adapt. Because especially in Africa, man, a lot happens in Africa. One thing that amazes me, even when I heard that there's the breakout of the war,
Yeah.
one thing that amazes me is the UAE,
Yeah.
they have oil.
Yeah.
Africa has a whole lot of other natural resources, including the oil.
Yeah.
But if you look at how they used their resources and you look at how Africa used their resources, the difference is staggering. But anyway, topic for another day.
Yeah, it's immense. You're right.
So we've talked about adaptability, and I think in passing you through in something else, discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline and habits. And I think I could ask you in this way, what habits would show that someone has drawn a line in the sand and they are on their way to end poverty?
Yeah. Firstly, self-regulation.
Yeah.
Serious. There are disciplines that are nice sometimes, and they must sometimes not be in line with our vision, because we're doing it because everybody's doing it. And I think at times we have it's nice to belong in a progressive group, but I hope that those groups that are progressive are practicing things that are in line with what we are trying to achieve.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now of an example, but when I'm actually getting to this aspect of self-regulation, I think there's an aspect of you being able to manage yourself before you care about how you show up in the midst of other people, right? Because before we say I'm a runner or I'm a gym fanatic or I am into diet or whatever the story is, I must have determined that myself. Our biggest threat in our day and age, I don't think, are all these other things that like your health issues or all of these things.
Yeah.
I think it's identity. We've got an issue with identity. We don't want to really manifest in front of others as who we really believe to be.
I tactically,
Yeah.
that looks like the difference between, let's say, you and me, for example. You buy assets, I buy status. When we have the same amount of money, you'll prioritize buying things that will pay you for a long time later, and it means there's delayed gratification for you. For me, it's not there because I want the immediate status upgrade.
Thank you.
So that they must see me.
You have, yeah, they say you hit the nail on the head. Correct. Because we always want to appear in a manner that is acceptable for others. And I think that's why I'm actually precise and almost careful in the fact that I'm saying self-regulation is key, because of it speaks to the fact that let me first own up to who I am. Let me be real about myself. Exactly as you're saying. For example, if we're talking investments, you're right. There are some people who need to get out of debt before they get to investment. Let me not, because everybody's saying, oh yeah, no, I want to invest. Let me not come across as I want to do exactly what others are doing. I need to first say, okay, I might be 2 steps back. I need to deal with debt before I get to investment.
Yeah.
And again, we're not saying it's not all kinds of debt that you're going to have to deal with. The debt that you feel is actually detrimental for you. Same thing. Then when we go to disciplines that are actually going to make us better people. As I'm saying, information, I like what Oprah says about reading. She says she's never met an illiterate person that is an avid reader.
Okay.
Yeah, and she said, show me a person who is a reader, an avid reader, who is unemployed. There might be, I don't know, but I think it actually reduces the chances of you not doing well in life, because firstly, it speaks to, because when you read, it actually helps you with your articulation. Number 2, it also helps you change your mindset. Einstein said, we cannot resolve the problems with the problems we've created with the same mindset we used to create them. So that means my mind has to change before anything external changes. Now, that's why I'm trying to not move away from this discipline. So let's be disciplined in
the
terms
right
of
things.
yes, getting the right things right. Then we're actually going to. I think it's going to be easy for us to see the outcome.
Self-mastery is something I'm big on as well.
Yeah.
And I think when you put it that way, it's having discipline in the habits that do with your health, for example, having discipline in the habits that do with your mindset, reading, and discipline in terms of removing, because it's not just the addition of information, it's also the removing of distractions.
Sure.
Because for many people, a lot of their problems are just down to how distracted they are.
Yeah.
I remember in a workshop just last week, actually, I did something quite weird. I don't normally do it, but I'm sitting, I call it a family meeting when you do a debrief, put a circle and have everyone talk about what they're learning, and they get to shoot random questions at me.
Sure.
So now when we're doing that, it's going well. Guys are learning, and I see two ladies on their phones, and I just said, you can I have the phones? And then like 10 minutes later, we're continuing with the activity. I said, get back your phones, but I want you to tell me what you're learning from this, because it's embarrassing to get called out. Bring your phones, you're distracted. But the big part was, it was around 10 a.m.
Sure.
So I said, all of you take out your phones, go to your phone health on your settings, and check how many hours you've spent on your phone. Right now, by now, it's 10 a.m. Right? And I think the highest was on 3 hours or something like that. By 10 a.m. Because your phone records how long you've been. And that 3 hours started to be scary now, because now I'm saying we all get the 24 hours a day. If by now you're on 3 hours on the phone, and I bet you are just scrolling. It means by the end of the day, you're on 6 to 8 hours just scrolling randomly on your phone. What do you think that's doing to your bottom line?
Sure. And it's mostly if you are not a content creator that's getting paid for that.
Exactly. Which all of them were not.
Yeah.
What do you think that's doing to your bottom line? You are distracted, and it's destroying you financially. You don't realize it.
That's true.
And for many people, you don't realize that is what's numbing the pain. It's removing the agency for you to work.
That's so true. And it's interesting because what you're saying, because these things have a way of making us feel like we're doing something. But you've got nothing to report back on, as in, because when you're doing something, you actually kind of want to have something to show for it. As you're saying, it does not make your life better in any form. I mean, you can listen to motivational talks all day long or whatever. It's you're just regurgitating. There's nothing.
ROI?
Exactly. So yeah, that makes so much sense. And I think being distracted is actually one of the, I don't want to say destroyers of today's generation, because at the end of the day, we have to apply discipline, going back to the discipline aspect. But then somebody's making money from us being distracted. And I mean, that's why they're saying these guys are paying so many people, because of, they actually had to come up with that. There was that Netflix series that they actually came up with.
Which one? I don't
social.
Oh, the one about social media.
Yeah, social media. No, yes, exactly.
I remember. I don't remember the name.
Yes, the fact that
I'm sure someone in the comment will remind
us.
Exactly. So we go watch it again. So.
Because they were analyzing there how there are the analysis like we do now when we actually check how our podcasts and channels are doing, because you want to see where is everybody watching and all of those things. So they actually look at our behaviors so as to actually even kind of ping us in a way to say, if you haven't looked at your screen the way you normally you can look at your screen, we've got to, bring something that's going to...
something pop so you come. And I actually laughed about it, and I said, the funny thing is, it's a content creator telling you to do less content. Scrolling. And then I have to say, don't scroll me though.
That's why now when we come up on the screen, like, stop scrolling. Exactly.
Yeah, but I think it's more to say jokes are important. The
Yeah.
fun stuff, all of the stuff that you enjoy, it's important. I think where it gets toxic is if you're spending too much time
Correct.
there and not looking at the return on investment and what you are building. Because for some people, it becomes 6 hours scrolling on the phone, 4 hours on the TV, and you ask of all of those, what amount was allocated to actual learning something that you're going to do tomorrow.
Correct.
And that you're going to implement tomorrow in a different way for your job, for your business.
Yeah.
You realize it's 8 hours, not even one of those hours went into something
Sure.
that grows me,
Sure.
right? And for others, it becomes the opposite. Learning so much to the point that the learning is what's crippling you, because you're spending 8 hours learning every day and doing nothing. So I don't know what they call that.
I am smiling because of I actually get that. Sometimes you just like I'm not a health or a nutritionist, but you read so many things, and there are some people who are saying some things you like, but this is seemingly different from what I heard, and then you get to the point where you're like, I really don't know what really works or what doesn't really work. But then it's exactly what you're saying, that sometimes we learn so much to the point where we don't even know what to do,
Yeah.
because the practicality aspect is actually crippled by the theoretical aspect that you have actually overdosed yourself with, to the point it's actually not, it's difficult to start anywhere because of you don't know what's more important than the other.
I'm remembering Jim Rohn's quote that says the difference between failure and success. He gave two definitions. Failure doesn't happen in one day. Disaster doesn't happen in one day. Failure is little bad habits that you consistently repeat each and every day.
Sure.
Now, they are inconsequential in day one, inconsequential in year one, they appear in year 20.
Yeah.
And because they were inconsequential, when you were doing them, when failure happens, when you're year 40, you get a stroke, you get some funny disease. It's something that you started doing 20 years ago. And people fail. In his example, people fail because they did something that they thought was small. And when I opened, I said families drift into poverty.
Sure.
And those little bad habits are financial secrecy in families, not teaching kids early about finance. By the time they grow up, they know less than what you know, and no one taught you. So the person ahead of you could have taught you as well, and you could have been in a better position. Those little things that we keep ignoring on the side, and we repeat the cycle.
Sure. Actually, yeah, that's powerful, and it's actually consistent with what's this guy's book on habits?
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. Yes, it says 1%.
Yeah,
You just make 1% change.
improvement.
Improvement, yes. Because over time, I mean, the guy was just making an example even of I think it was the Australian team
Yeah,
that actually made they
Small little
had never
improvements over
won
time.
any Olympics before until this guy came in and made them do small things. The dust on the bikes and stuff. I mean, stuff you would not think about, but the immense improvement that they did to the point they actually got gold medals. It's actually what you're saying. So that means also the negative is the same. That the little staying
Bad
in,
things.
yeah.
waking up late. And
Yes. Yeah, because you're thinking I need a little bit more rest today. Whilst you're starting a new habit of when I sleep an hour more, then it actually just progresses over time.
Yeah, because if you look at the things we've been talking about, even learning, it's a discipline. That means there's going to be a habit that you build around it. Not learning is easy to do.
Sure.
It's easy to just not read. It's easy to just not educate yourself. It's easy to just not put yourself out there and apply for work, right? It's easy to not do things, things that will make you progressive.
Yeah.
But it's harder to do things that will unlock the breakthroughs in your life.
Sure.
At least it feels harder until you're doing it over and over again. And then when you're doing it over and over again, you start to wonder, why didn't I start? I think that's one of the things I laugh at and even say when it comes to the podcast. I say, if only someone had told me 2 years before I started,
Sure.
because I had the equipment,
Yeah.
that dude, start. This thing works, start.
Yeah.
And by then it was after COVID. That was like the absolute best time to start creating content. But for whatever reason, thinking about it felt hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt hard. Now it feels easy. You know, setting a camera on and now sitting here. This is easy for us.
Yeah.
But try think back a year or two ago if we had said.
You're right. I mean, because of I think it also it rubbed off because when you told me about this and then got me to actually also move on my channel. I mean, I was telling you now. You're right. I think this actually reminds me of the analogy of a train that's stationary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resistance to move the train from being stationary, but until it starts catching momentum. Once it catches momentum, you could put 10 walls in front of that train.
It will
break right through them. So the resistance, exactly what you say, the resistance is higher when we are still idle. And because of you haven't caught on momentum. Just like going to the gym, I think everybody's like, you must quickly break through that resistance.
Yeah.
So if you do it the first day, they'd say it takes 21 days to create a habit. So that's 3 weeks. The first week you have to feel like you're kicking off these blankets and winter is around the corner.
You need all the support.
Exactly, right? You need all the external affirmations in order for you to actually keep seeing value in this thing until you get to the point where after 21 days, now you don't need much reason to actually get up. Your body starts craving that particular hard thing you need to do. Because of it's just like if ever you start drinking water, you say, I'm going to drink 2 liters of water on a daily basis. When you start, that thing is difficult because you're used to soda.
It is hard, yeah.
And it's a simple thing. It's drinking water. But 21 days down the line, your body starts missing water before you even think about, I need to get a bottle or whatever. Same thing.
So I remember something that we used to talk about. It was economics.
Yeah.
It's a zone of disappointment. Actually, no. Well, it was economics, but just extra lessons.
Yeah.
Why people quit before they build a habit that's going to help them. So the zone of disappointment is that range where when you start, if it's a health thing, you expect to see certain things. You expect to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And over time, day 1, day 3, day 5, you don't feel that way. You go to the gym, you pull some weights, you actually increase your weight.
Yeah.
It's not what you're expecting. So what you're expecting and what's happening, there's now that gap.
Sure.
And when people hit the reality of that gap, that's the zone of disappointment. You start your journey of financial independence, and when you're starting, you're excited, and you're deeper in debt 3 months later, or things are not working, or you try to sell, you sell nothing.
Yeah.
So that zone of disappointment,
Sure.
when people hit that, they stop. The majority don't quit because they never started trying to change their lives. They quit because when disappointment hit,
Sure.
they couldn't handle it emotionally.
That makes sense. Because so that then speaks to the importance of helping people to understand that emotions are not factored in when we're doing the planning.
That's
Right? Yeah, because exactly as you're saying, because we are thinking actually from me taking the decision to do something right, I'm gonna feel good about it. I mean, they call it what, withdrawal symptoms. For example, if you want to stop anything like drinking Coke and someone was drinking Coke on a day, let me not, but anyway, yeah.
drinking whatever.
That's not supposed to be drunk, whether it's coffee or whatever the case is. Those feelings of the headaches and all of those things, are not things you factor in when you actually do the planning, because in your planning, you're planning for the good outcome.
Yeah.
But the reality is the resistance is not factored in.
And when it comes,
Yes. So
it's a shock to the system.
it reminds me of someone. I actually recently read this, and some investor, property investor guy. He said the mistake that people make in property is to get out too early. Again,
Same thing.
yes, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to property. I'm gonna be
I'm gonna get rich.
cash content. And they don't understand that you are going to get blow by blow, and there's going to be so many things before you can actually have it easy. Then when they're actually having those ups and downs, they get out. Like you and Bitcoin.
Yes, you remember.
Yes, yeah.
Don't remind me of my traumas.
Yeah.
All right, so let's cap this off.
Yeah.
I think with the last one for context because of the topic and
Sure.
how we framed it. If you are going to create generational wealth,
Yeah.
if we are going to end the cycle of poverty, the one big move is building assets.
Correct.
Investments and building assets. Well, there's also the educating the next generation so
Sure.
that they're also keeping up to what you're doing.
Yeah.
But this asset thing, and that's your biggest play. I think that's what you talk about the most.
Correct. So assets are the thing that actually keeps generating income, because if you actually want to invest in something that even if you're no longer around, it will keep, bringing in this money.
The golden goose.
Yeah, the gold. You know the story about the golden goose. Yeah. Actually, that's very key. Maybe let's touch on it quickly so that I actually finish.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So this thing you're saying about educating the next generation about financial wealth or financial well-being or financial literacy is to actually help them not to want to slaughter the golden goose because they're thinking they could actually get all the gold now instead of waiting for the goose to keep laying the golden eggs.
One day at a time. Takes too long.
The eggs, the goose that laid the golden egg. Sorry, yeah. So we don't want the next generation to slaughter the goose because they're thinking they're going to extract all those golden eggs at one go. So what we're trying to do is we want to invest first in things that will keep generating income even when our kids, when we are no longer around, for our kids and for their children's children. Well, Bible says a good man leaves inheritance for his children's children. So it mustn't just be my kids, but it must be their grandchildren as well. It must continue just going. So that's an important part. But that does not come by divine osmosis again. It comes with us actually having empowered ourselves. Now, this is the importance of us understanding what kind of assets can we actually delve deeper on or actually start being participatory in, all right? Firstly, anything that we are going to call an asset, we must first understand that it actually has a lifespan, and in its lifespan, it has a potential of generating a certain income, right? Or a certain amount of money. Now, we need to be able to value whether it's worth our while to invest in that asset or not. How do we do that? We must get an idea of how much potential does this asset I want to invest in have in terms of generating income. So how much money do I think this thing can give me within its lifetime so that I can present value that to today? That's what gives us the value of the asset. When you are going to buy, for example, a house, you want to buy this house to...
Geez, man, when you invest, you calculate net present value.
Yeah. That's imperative.
Okay.
The reason why, let's touch on it quickly. The reason why most people have a challenge with the type of financing that they use to invest, it's because they don't understand that principle of net present value.
Yeah.
Because what net present value does, it actually brings to today the value of the cash flows you are going to get out of this asset. Now, you compare the value of the cash flows you are going to get out of this asset over its lifetime against the cash outflow you are going to do if you used the bank's money to fund this thing. Now, if your net present value is positive, that thing is worth you investing in it.
All right. So this one,
Yeah.
I get the value of it.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I want to create something on a board, so you do the
Oh, yeah,
number
yeah.
and
Yeah.
because this will
It's
someone
technical.
just listening.
Yeah, it's technical.
It might just go over their head. So we'll create another one for how Monday like
Yeah.
evaluates an investment.
Correct.
Fair?
All right. That's correct. Yeah. Okay, so. Oh, yeah.
But basically, to simplify it, you're saying you need to choose assets that you know can pay you a certain amount of money over a certain period. What are examples of assets that you typically invest in?
The biggest one is property,
Property
for
is
sure.
number one for
so
you, I know.
I do property. I do shares. I definitely. I've got okay. I'm an employee, so my pension is actually one of the
an
biggest.
asset.
Yeah, it's an asset, and my tax refunds I take them because of they are also a they're wealth generating tool.
Yeah, you take them and then you use the money to buy more assets.
Correct. So I actually take them, and whether you actually put them towards your tax-free saving account or you actually reduce the liability that you owe towards your property. So yeah, those are some of the things that you actually want to invest in. There's quite a number of things that people can invest in. As again, I think it might actually
Buying
need a separate-
business is a low-hanging fruit that many don't think about.
Yes, just that you need a little bit of due diligence when you're going to buy a business.
Due diligence and a bit of knowledge and
Yeah.
passion
Yeah.
for what it is that you're buying into.
Correct.
Because again, business will hit you, I think, faster than any investment with that zone of disappointment.
Sure.
The reality check is going to hit you really, really fast. So you need to actually be a bit passionate about it
Yeah.
to push through that, or know enough about the business to grow it.
It's correct.
But I've seen the rate of return on buying a business is really high, higher than property. Did you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I could buy a business for 300, 400,000 rands. Yeah, business can give me 40, 50,000. You don't get that in any other investment.
Remember, so
And there are many websites that sell businesses.
correct. So I was going to say, because remember, some businesses are not doing bad because the business is not moving. Some, they have high commitments. They just need someone with a good cash flow. So if you have cash flow already, that business is probably already profitable. But because the previous owner was already struggling by virtue of commitment, that money came in and left. But now if you come in and you just put the right things in here, I'll give you an example. I know a guy who owns a Sobe. And I mean, it's a nice business, that one. Previous owner sold it. This guy is making serious money.
Millions, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the previous owner might have sold it for whatever reason that they've had. It's well located. It just needed someone who actually has good cash flow. So I think
It's cool.
Yeah.
And I think another thing people can think about is rentable assets, depending on where you are. Stuff that people need and stuff people can't afford to buy. I always give the example of tractors. If you're in areas where there are farmers, they come in higher. Funny, I mentored a guy who I just told him about it and he actioned it immediately.
Sure.
Went and bought the cash flow that he gets from the tractor.
Yeah.
Because now you're not making money off saving because you are going to hire it as well,
Yeah.
right? Now you've saved that
Yeah.
cost, so your overheads are lower.
Yeah.
But now you make money off a whole lot of other farmers around you. Just putting diesel, you go, the tractor works there, cash. Now it's quite cash content.
Sorry, how can I forget this one? Uber.
You got into it too.
Yeah. Do you know that we actually use the similar concept as well? So with
Yeah.
Uber, you actually hire the car out to the guy who's going to drive for you.
Ah.
So you have a constant amount that you get on a daily basis. Then he actually, whatever extra, he actually gets that
That
money.
is.
So it's the same concept.
So you bought an asset, the car, put it in the Uber system, the driver rents it from you. So it's rentable assets.
Correct.
I think we are good.
Yeah.
What can you say to this statement as we close? Think decades, think generational, and stop focusing on just now.
Yeah. Okay. What I can say is a famous quote where they say, we always exaggerate what we can do in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. It's very imperative for us to understand that us trying to fit in a plan that should fit in 10 years in 1 year is a recipe for failure. Some of us are disappointed not because what we're trying to do is not possible. It's just that we're trying to fit it in a time frame that actually squeezes the life out of it. It can happen easy in 10 years, but in 1 year, it's almost impossible. For example, some people who are working and who are trying to study at the same time, some are fathers and husbands, they actually want to probably study everything in 1 year as they used to. Then they struggle instead of actually saying, instead of me trying to do this thing in 1 year, let me piecemeal it and do it in 3 years. They actually could do way better if they actually stretch it. Similar thing then for the person who's trying to do some things that should be done in 10 years, trying to do them in 1 year, you're going to keep failing, and you're going to get to the 10th year and you're going to ask yourself, why didn't I just stretch this thing? Do you get myself?
Because 10 years is happening. And I think to close it off, when you think in that way, you think decades, someone needs a degree, someone needs a certificate, someone needs a qualification and accreditation. And when you're thinking about your life, you might feel like 2 years is a long time to waste trying to get this thing. But you know that thing is going to unlock breakthroughs for you. 10 years is going to happen whether you like it or not.
Yep.
The next 20 years is going to happen whether you like it or not. The question is, when it does happen, when 10 years later hits, does it find you with the certificate, with the accreditation, with the degree, with the skill, with the competence? For many, they don't make that shift, and therein lies the problem.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us till this time. We've had some fun. I hope you did too. Let us know what else you want us to cover, but we are going to do a whole lot more deep dives on this because we want this to happen for many people. We want poverty to end with you. Thank you.